Wiggy time on the fly. What's up, everybody? Sean Wiggins alongside my co-host, Ref Hansen. This is going all the way back to March 31st, 2000. One of my first matches I ever refereed. This was a student show. So it's not the same people you're going to get at a regular indie show. It just means like parents of the students and maybe some locals will show up and hang out and watch. Who you see in the ring right now is my late friend Sean Dale. This guy, my homie Sean Callahan. We called him Sean Callahan. And his partner Chris Callahan. They were the Fightin' Callahans. Now, they were just the Callahan brothers. They teamed for a while. And they are wrestling. This is why I put this match up. The only time I ever refereed for Charlie and Russ, the Haas brothers. And for those of you that don't know, if you're new to watching wrestling, if you just started, if you, maybe you don't know, or maybe you watched forever, and I don't know. The Haas brothers were the greatest tag team that never were. Russ, who, I'll get there in a second, when the camera can zoom in. Russ is on the left. Now he's on the left. Now he's on the right. Now he's on the right. Now he's on the left. That's Charlie Haas right there. For you fans who watch WWE, you should know who Charlie Haas is. The other one being Russ. Russ, unfortunately, died at age 26 in 2001. December 15th, 2001. I remember getting a call from Dan Moff. I wasn't super close with the Haas brothers. I knew them kind of like work acquaintances, but they were, me and Charlie later became friendly. Very friends. I consider him a friend. I haven't talked to him in forever. I hope he's doing great. Charlie, if you're out there, love you, miss you. You were awesome. And you're the greatest bumper in the history of professional wrestling. If you don't count like 600 or 700 other guys. And now look at, and this shows you the talent of the Haas brothers. No offense to the Callahans, but come on, they were what they were. The old saying, you can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit, but the Haas brothers really did try here. The Callahans were very new here, but I'll give Chris Callahan and Sean should try a little harder. They both had passion for it, but they just didn't. They didn't do enough to be great. This was the biggest match they ever had. You wrestled Charlie and Haas. It's a big deal. And the Haas brothers, it's been said by guys who knew them, by guys who've seen them, they probably would have been the second coming of the Steiner brothers. They were two shoot All-Americans from Seton Hall, amateur wrestlers, both in amazing shape, had outstanding bodies. They looked the part. They were in the WWF developmental system. I believe it was in Louisville then, in Ohio. They did a dark match at Madison Square Garden. They wrestled at Access. Sean Callahan poked Charlie in the eye right there. And Charlie is, he's not just selling, it's shoot hurt. The Callahans spent every dollar they had on their gear in this match. Okay, that's not real. But no, the Haas's definitely would have been the second coming of the Steiners. And I remember when Russ died, that's the last thing I thought about is, man, they would have been a great tag team. It's like, man, Russ isn't here anymore. That was the first real wrestling death all of us in the early 2000s experienced. And it was horrible because everybody loved Russ. Russ was a jokester, and he was a shooter. You didn't have to ask him twice what you thought of him. Ooh, little botch there. Callahan was supposed to do the takedown. I'm doing my best to cover it. I'm also nursing a serious shoulder injury in this match, as earlier, it's pretty much the only referee on the show. I took a power bomb from this completely unprofessional asshole named Eddie Vasquez. Eddie, whatever the hell his name was. He powerbombed me. I did not expect it. He just grabbed me and did it, and I didn't know how to take it, so I kind of put my elbow out. I'm lucky my shoulder didn't separate, but it hurt for months after. I actually had to work the next day. I was a landscaper. He thanked me for it, for letting him do it, and I should have cursed him out. I should have said, you fucking prick. I'm still hot about it. And now Charlie's taking control of the match. I don't know how Charlie withstanded all that, all of those blows. There's a display of, good Lord. Oh, what a bump. He bumped like dropping a frickin' medicine ball outside of a 10-story window. Tag is made to Russ, and everyone. Yeah, Russ was the younger of the two brothers, and Russ was also the guy. Oh God, Chris did not take care of him there. Russ was also the guy who kind of wanted to be in professional wrestling. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he had a job on Wall Street. He's yelling, he's yelling at me here. He would rib me a lot. Right there, he's yelling, "Ref, this guy's blown up." And I sold a little ass kick, and I should have, yelled back at him, and I didn't. Yeah, I think you can hear him. No, I actually couldn't hear him. It was... See, I mean, JP wasn't that slick. They didn't have, like, mics in the ring. But, yeah, it was funny. Guys in the back who were there laughed their asses off. But, yeah, just what a sad story of what could have been. I mean, there's a lot of those stories. David Von Erich is one of them that comes to mind. Eddie Guerrero, I mean, we lost him. We had him a long time, but we still lost him too early. And losing Russ Haas because WWF at that time wanted the Haas brothers. They didn't want Charlie Haas. But it worked out. He teamed up with Shelton Benjamin, and they had a really good run. And, they teamed up with Kurt Angle and the whole bit. And Charlie did his thing. WWF kept him for a long time. And he deserved better, And it would have been great to see the Haas brothers wrestle maybe, I don't know. Not the Young Bucks, because there's years before them. Maybe like the Haas brothers against London and Kendrick. Or, I think they would have had a million great matches. Didn't matter who. But we were robbed of that. And Russ was robbed of a life. And sucked. Died of a heart attack. He had heart disease. I believe went undetected. I don't want to say too much because I don't know too much about it. But he was eating his Wheaties. I'm sure that attributed to it. But it sucked. And everyone loved him. There was a Russ Haas Memorial Show that Jersey All Pro put on in February 2002, which was great success. All of the Haas family was there. But I don't want to make this sound like, sadness, because Russ was funny, man. He was closer with the Hit Squad. The Haas brothers and the Hit Squad, they had some really good matches, and they were just learning how to work. I mean, I would have loved to see the Haas brothers wrestle Homicide and Hernandez in TNA. That would have been something. But yeah, there were matches with the Hit Squad. They used to wrestle in CZW a lot, and Jersey All Pro, of course. But they were great. And man, put a great manager on the Haas brothers, who knows what you would have gotten. Chris Callahan finding the intestinal fortitude to get that double close. And now the proverbial House of Fire. Here comes the fighting Sean Callahan. Know how he's doing it, but he's doing it. Sean Callahan also, we lost him in 2017. He got in a motorcycle accident, and I don't know what happened. I know he lost his left leg from the knee down, or I don't know exactly what that was. But Sean Callahan, who's the blonde of the two fighting Callahans, Russ makes a save. God, the Haas's really put him over in this match. They really did. They made him look really good. This is the best match the Callahans ever had. And they just weren't ready, They weren't in ring shape, and they didn't train enough together. And they did train a lot, but they didn't stick with it. And Russ having to turn him around there. But Sean Callahan, I didn't own a car here. I was just started my job as a landscaper. Ooh, do-si-do, double clothesline city. And Sean Callahan and his dad would drive me to and from the wrestling school here in Bayonne. And we became good friends. We lived in the same town. And really good guy. Knew a lot of the people I knew in Bloomfield. Everyone who knew him loved him. There's no bad stories about Sean Callahan. Good guy. Had a crush on my cousin, too. So he would have been my cousin-in-law. Do-si-do and Charlie this time saw that one coming. Callahan's telegraphed it. And now the Haas brothers are well in control. But yeah, this was, the Haas's aren't wearing their super gear here. Nuts. Look at that. See, he was just an athlete. They both were athletes. They both were amazing athletes. They both looked the part. You could tell on the independents, too, that they weren't going to be around long. Like, there's, Sean, you fucked that up. In Monopoly, there's jail, or, it didn't quite work out. There's jail and just visiting. They were just visiting on the independents. And now Charlie having to come up with something else there. There's a 3 count. Charlie disappointed. And rightfully so. Sean didn't negotiate the finish there. Your winners, the Haas brothers. Hope you enjoyed this one. My only match refereeing Charlie and Russ. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Arrivederci and ciao. Signing off the whole bit. And thank you to Charlie and Russ for that match. Russ, we miss you. Hope you're killing it up there in wrestling heaven.